right, a lot going down in the English Premier League as we speak. Leicester City and Chelsea slugging it out for a place in the top four. Of course, on offer is a place in the UEFA Champions League. That sets the tone for what we're going to be talking about tonight on the show. Greetings to you. I'm Yemi Adebayo. Let me give you a quick rundown of what to expect on the show tonight. We're going to be talking about the Olympics. Of course, we'll tell you what's going on in Tokyo, test events currently going on, protests in some places. We'll also talk about football on the domestic scene. We'll take you to a place and listen to a football legend. Green Eagles goalkeeper will talk to you on some of the things he's been doing of late and the advice he has for the administrators of the game. Also, we'll take a look at table tennis, and on offer tonight as well is badminton. Have special guests in the house that will take us through some of the things happening in badminton, especially recent feats achieved by Bolaji Eniola. I'm not going to let the cat out of the bag just yet, but you're in for a surprise as we go on the show. Let's bring you into all that we're doing today. Is the kind of day you want to talk to us today. Is the kind of day you want to tell us what you feel about everything happening in your amazing world of sports. You can get across to us. Send us a mail, sportstonight@channelstv.com. Get across to us on Facebook, channels-sports. Drop your comments there. Then you can tweet at us, at @channels_sports. Let's know how you feel about all of these things. Let's feel your pause. All right? So that's the outlook of the show. Be part of what we're doing here on the show tonight. Okay, so let's move on. It's time for me to introduce my partners for the first segment of the show tonight. Let me just quickly say that hopefully I will be joined by Austin Okon Akpan and, of course, a friend of the house, Christopher Maduesi. He will be talking about athletics in the second segment. But for the first segment of the show, let me quickly introduce my partners to you. I'll start from my far right, which happens to be your left, caretaker chairman of the Badminton Federation of Nigeria, Francis Obi, joins us on the show tonight. Thanks for being here.
Thank you very much, Jamie, and thank you for having me.
All right. And I have the champ in the house as well. A lot of you have been reading about Bolaji Eniola and the feats she achieved recently. She's seated right next to me in the studio, and she's going to be talking about a lot of things. Bolaji, greetings to you. Thanks for being here tonight. All right. So it's good to have both of you in the studio. I'm very sure a lot of people want to hear you. I know you're naturally a gentle person, but you might have to speak up so that everybody would listen to you. But I want to start with you. The last time we spoke, you weren't able to make it down to the studio. We were talking about the unique challenges posed by COVID-19. But I want to ask you, since then, a lot has happened. And so how's the year been? Then we were looking at how to navigate 2021. Now we've seen almost 5 months. So how's it been?
It's been not too active, let me put it that way. You know, everybody's still watching, but thank God for the National Sports Festival.
Yeah.
That was the first major outing for badminton since last year. And it was a good place for us to see how things are going to be moving forward. So, I mean, a lot of learning curves. You know, we took a lot of points from there to know the things we will need to do when we eventually want to roll out our activities for the year, because we are really hoping and very confident that we should be able to have a few activities, have a few programs before the year runs out. So, I mean, so positive disposition, that's what I would say.
All right, and I'm going to ask you something again. We're all waxing lyrical about Eniola, what she has done, and caught a lot of people off guard. You were telling me some things about her. I'm going to put that to you, and I'm going to allow her to say a couple of things as well. How happy does it make you feel, all the things that she's been able to achieve, and with all of those things flying under the radar?
Well, a lot of those things flying under the radar. I would say that hers is a compelling story, let me put it that way, and also a bit emotional for us. I will tell you that when the news broke that she had won gold medal, a lot of things came with it. Records, history, the first Nigerian, the first African to get to the finals. So even if she didn't win on Sunday, she had already made history.
By getting to the finals.
African, yes. Then she now went on to win the gold. So it was a kind of mixed feelings. We're happy. I mean, naturally, everybody will be happy at what she achieved. But, I mean, the emotional part was the fact that her coach, Coach Bello, and also our player, African champion, he was African #1, met his untimely death when he was trying to put things together for this trip. He was meant to be on this trip with her. So, and I mean, we're happy she won, but at the same time, we're wishing, it was like we wished Coach Bello were alive to witness and see that moment when all his hard work, I mean, the reward had come out. But at the end of the day, we are consoled by her victory and her achievement that it just sort of emphasized to us that Coach Bello's death was not in vain and his legacy is definitely alive.
I mean, let me come to you, Eniola. Like I said, a lot of people want to listen to you, so do them that favor by letting them hear what you have to say. Yours is a compelling story. Like you said, para badminton, a lot of people don't know too much. I even had to ask you the events you won, but it's out there that you have won. When did you take up the sport? I want to start from there before we go on to...
I took up the sport 4 years ago, but not punctual.
Okay.
Because then, if I came into the court, I saw able players, so I was discouraged.
Okay.
So I didn't even came again. I was like, I can't come to this kind of place where I'm the only one disabled here. I'm the only para here. So I went home to go and learn work graphics design. Okay. So later, my coach starts calling me back, which is late, Rafiu Ebanji Bello.
Okay.
That I should just come around. I was like, to come and do what? People are here, and they're not going to be making jest of me. He said, no, I should just come. So I came back ending of 2019.
Okay.
That ending of 2019, he also took me to Abuja at a BW.
Before then, you had not participated in any major event?
No, I've not. Okay, when I came back that 2019, there was a game called LMK. So I tried to play the game where I won a bronze.
Okay.
So the bronze was like the first time for me. So if I hang it inside my room like this, I would be like, I want this to be many. Whereas I don't know the meaning, I don't know the difference between bronze and gold. So I was just praying, I want this bronze to be many. Yeah. I want this bronze to be many. So that's why I started having interest in the sport. So ending that 2019, coach told me that I will be going to Abuja for workshop.
Okay.
BWF workshop. So I was happy. I went home. I told most everybody in my area, that I'm going to Abuja. Even I was told that I would not be playing. I just want to go and learn things, to watch. So I just carry my things together, go to Abuja. So when I came back, I was told I was given a slot by BWF. I was classified. I was very happy. So when I reach home, I don't even stop on the training again. I do my 2 hours training and go to work. Because I learned creativity.
So at that point, it became serious?
Yes, I became very serious. I even encourage people to come into the para badminton.
Okay, so you've had 1 or 2 friends who have started playing para badminton because of you?
No, I haven't. But I told people to come. Yeah, I have a wheelchair player, but she's not also punctual because it was like, I'm sitting, you are standing, it's not comfortable for her, so she comes once in a while.
Wow. Yeah. Okay, let's pick it up from, I mean, you've given us the background that we all need, and like I said, a lot flew under the radar, and we're very happy for you. When did you know you were going to go to Spain, and when did you know the category you were going to compete in?
I don't know I'm going to go to Spain.
Okay.
Because my coach was discussing it, that there was players already.
There were players already, okay.
But I should just be looking forward if BFN can sponsor me.
Okay.
That I should just keep training, which we are 2. Me and my second guy, which is Jeremiah. So we keep to train, even though we don't know the trip will be possible. Until that day, he just came back and said, go and get your passport, go to medical, go and get your medical checkup. I was like, I was very happy that 2 of us are going. So later I said, and the slot was not given. It was given to only me.
Okay.
So the guy was like, when he's holding me like this, you have to start training me so that everything will be balanced. Now that I'm the one going, so we should be focused. When my coach told me, no, I'm not the only one going. You'll be going with me. We have to play mixed doubles to qualify for Olympic. Because me, I haven't been to any tournament, but him has been going for the tournament. So if we play the mixed doubles, that will make us to qualify, and that will make me also to qualify for the Olympic with his own rank.
Okay.
So when I discovered I'm going, I train harder more.
All right. Okay. I want to go to him, but I want to ask you this because that's the moment everybody wants to hear. Okay, you got to Spain now. What was the competition like? Did you get to Spain thinking you already had a bronze medal? I have to get a medal from here, or you just felt, let me just play and see what happens?
When I get to Spain, it was very difficult for me because of my class, before they even gave me the classification.
Okay.
Because when I first entered the hall, I went to carry my racket, do my footwork normal. So I don't know, someone was watching me. He was like, hey, this one cannot play SL3. You will kill everybody in SL3. That, I was too balanced for the SL3.
Okay.
So when I went for the classification, they asked about my leg. They watch it. They say, you'll be playing SL3. So I was very happy that I'll even be playing the SL3. Because since I've had in Abuja that I'll be playing SL3, okay, I've been training for the SL3.
Okay.
So when I was classified, I saw many people in that SL3. Very huge. I mean, even I had some people saying I have like 3 gold medal in this SL3.
Those were people you're going to play against?
Yes. I was like, hey, how do I want to do this? Even I was not. I just, when I heard some people saying 2 bronze, I said, let me just go and put in my best. I should just play all out.
And at the end of the day, your effort came out well.
Yes, yes.
And you won gold.
Yes.
Let me go to him because you had a first-hand experience, but you were monitoring back home. And, I mean, records being set, being made. How was the journey monitoring? I mean, because from what you've said, and I agree, for her, is one of the high points of 2020 that we could still have a moment like this. Very heartwarming.
Well, heartwarming. I will also say a different angle to it, compelling story. So many first African, first Nigerian. Mm-hmm. It is the first time that the Federal Ministry of Youth and Sports Development in Nigeria is supporting para badminton. Oh.
So credit must go to them as well.
Must go to the
Sports
ministry must go to the Honorable Minister because, yes, a lot of effort had been made, a lot of work had gone on in para badminton, courtesy of the national coordinator, Mr. Samuel, the late Coach Bello. He did so much work. I mean, for him to have discovered that. You know, during the presentation, there was a minute of applause to remember him when they were being presented with the medals. And that was by the world body. So this achievement shook the whole badminton world. And then an angle to it that we interest you. At the last minute, towards the trip being made, she was dropped from the team.
Wow.
Yeah. What were the reasons? You know, it was meant to be the last Olympic qualifier. And Coach Bello was the only one on the road to qualification. She has never played before. In fact, she was classified for the first time. So the world body, when we hosted the workshop in Abuja that she came for, saw the potential and gave a grant of $500 for her.
For what?
Towards her coming for classification. So nobody was even thinking about playing to win any tournament.
Just to be there?
Yes, to be there. So the ministry looked at it when we were making a case for them to travel. They were working on the file for Bello when his accident happened. So that took everybody, just shook everybody. So after that, we said, you know what? If only for the sake of Coach Bello, this team has to go. So, okay, who goes? Mary, the second player who went with her, she had played some international. She was in Uganda at the All-Africa and then the Uganda International. So she also had a chance if she had done very well in this championship. So at that point, the ministry said, you know what, only Mary will go. So I put a call across and I said, one, this was somebody that was being trained by Coach Bello, who we lost in the process of preparing for this trip. So for his sake alone, we should let this girl go. Secondly, the BWF had given a grant of $500 just to encourage us. So it would be very responsible of us not to be able to do the needful to get her
the
there.
opportunity.
So the moment that case was made, the ministry looked at it again and said, okay. So it was a last-minute decision that she should be part of the team.
Wow.
And I mean, today everybody is happy. The ministry is happy that they took that decision.
Yeah.
And for me, it's an eye-opener that if she didn't have the opportunity to get that exposure,
we'll not be talking about her today.
Nobody will be talking about it now. So I think sometimes we need to take that risk. We need to be bold enough and courageous to say, you know what, let's take a chance on this. And the coach that went with her, that's the coach, is actually the national coach. But, you know, Coach Bello was not just a coach, he was also a player.
Yeah.
So they still had the coach. He said he wasn't, I can tell you that even us, when they got there, we were looking more to Mary because she was more experienced than her and all that. So when we were told Mary had lost and she was the only one still in the game, I was like, well, she got to quarterfinals. She got to semi-finals. Then the irony was the person she beat in the finals was the only game she lost at the preliminary stages.
Oh, okay.
So they now met again.
And that time she won.
And that time
when it mattered most.
She upset, you know. So it was quite.
Yeah, and I do agree with you. It's a very compelling story. Unfortunately, we're pressed for time, but I want to ask you a question or two before I'll allow both of you go. Now you have won this. What next? You want to see a lot of medals, or you're beginning to think about, okay, I also know you're going to be in a tournament in Japan later in the year. So what are the things you're beginning to hope for in the days ahead?
What I want to do now is I should go back home to tighten myself.
Okay.
Because
prepare very well.
To prepare extra very well. Because this shouldn't go down. It should be going up. So once I reached back to Kwara State, I want to go and train, overtrain. I want the medal.
So it's going to be para badminton all through, nothing else?
Nothing. I'm into creativity.
Okay.
So I do creativity.
There'll be a little time for that too.
Yes, yes. But now, total time for badminton, para badminton.
All right. I wish you all the best.
Amen.
And hopefully all things will work. Before we let you go, let's also talk about, I mean, we can't overflow the issue that COVID-19 really affected a lot of things. But we're in a period of transition. Most of the federations now have caretaker committees and people handling the affairs temporarily till elections are done. In that scenario, does it affect the plans, or as in your own case, you just continue with what you had planned earlier, preempting whatever happens after the elections?
Well, like you said, I think it's a case of continuation because we have now a champion suddenly in our hands. We have to manage. And then before her, I can tell you that as of today, 3 of our players, we are just waiting for the official pronouncement by the Badminton World Federation. But 3 of our players have qualified for the Olympics. The qualifiers are almost over. Okay. But with where we are today, we are as good as qualified. So we're looking at preparing them for the Olympics proper. That is the next thing. To qualify is one thing, but to go there and do well and possibly, have a podium performance is what we are looking out for. So it's a lot of work that needs to be done. So we are in the process of planning where are they going to camp. Do we need to get in some extra technical support to make sure that the standard of their game? So all those we are doing in collaboration with the ministry and with the Nigeria Olympic Committee. So,
all right. All right, I'm not really a friend, but I want to thank you both for being here today. Francis Hobby, caretaker chairman of Badminton Federation, and of course, Bolaji Eniola, the champ. That's what I'll be calling you now. Thank you to both of you for being here. Hopefully we get to do this some other time.
Yes,
Thank you very much,
thank
and
you,
thank you
sir.
for having us.
Thank you very
All
much, sir.
right, so we need to go on a break right about now. When we return from that break, we will be talking about the Olympics, Team Nigeria in athletics, and a whole lot more, all for you on Sports Tonight. All right, welcome back. I've got to that point. I want to talk about the Olympics and in detail and look at all the things happening. Let me quickly introduce my partner. We've made a switch, and of course, Christopher Maduwesi is with me. It's been a long time. I can't remember the last time.
Yeah, I
But
think
Christopher,
3 years now.
thanks for joining me on the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right. Let me also quickly bring into the show Austin Okonakwan. He joins me as well on a night where there's a lot to talk about, especially about the Olympics. Greetings to you, Austin. Thanks for being with us on the show.
Sports greetings, Yemi. It's good to be on the show. Chelsea just got the lead over Leicester. Important game in the English Premier League.
All right, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. There's going to be a lot of drama. If time allows, we'll also talk about what's happening on your end. That Tyson Fury being told that he has to fight Deontay Wilder. So all the talks about Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury, we probably will not have that. And we also hear Anthony Joshua is talking about Plan B. Maybe that's going to be Usyk. But we'll save that for the last part of the show. Guys, let's start by talking about the Olympics and talk about the torch relay. Okay, as a matter of fact, let's do the countdown first. Let's start with the countdown. 66 days to go from where we stand officially before the Olympics start. Less than 3 months, 66, just a little over 2 months, by the way, to go to the Tokyo Olympics. A lot happening. But the government of Japan insists that the Olympics will go ahead as planned. Okay, so let's talk about the torch relay in the very popular city of Hiroshima. Torch relay has completed its route. It's completed the journey to that city. It's part of the 47 prefectures that the torch relay will pass through. But Chris, it was downscaled because of COVID. All the usual, seeing people on the streets, waving, all of those things have been toned down. I mean, you can look at the pictures. Usually, all of these routes will be filled with people, but everything is getting toned down. Is that a worrying sign for you?
See, just last week, the city that is meant to host the marathon went into an emergency.
Yeah.
And so they are even worried whether this Olympics should go ahead, but because they've invested billions of dollars, they have to go ahead with it, even if it means, not having fans come to watch.
Okay, so a lot of events. Talking about fans not coming to watch, let's talk about a freestyle event that was held without spectators, a test event. I mean, I've talked about this with Austin a couple of times. A lot of test events going on right there in Tokyo. It shows that the Olympics will go ahead, but test events going on without spectators. You're going to see the pictures on your screen shortly. Freestyle events, all of these events that thrive on the noise, the applause, and all of these things that the spectators had to the event. Obviously, going to be absent because the fans will not be there. Also, let me come to you. Of course, you've always been the voice telling us to expect the unexpected, that it can happen. It has not happened, but that it can happen. And so, test events going on here and there, but without the spectators. Does it take anything away from those events?
Oh, sure, it does. It does. But then again, it just confirms the resolve of the Japanese government to actually go on with the Olympics. I mean, see the difference. 8,000 fans are already bringing to the English Premier League. Look at how electrifying it was in the FA Cup final when Leicester City. I'll just try and imagine what that goal scored by Tillemans would have been without the fans. So this is a big worry for the Olympics going on without spectators, but we all understand. And so with the test events going on, look, the test events back in the day before the Olympics, sometimes even like the main show, because the organizers use it to test their preparation. They use it to feel the pulse of the games just before it starts. But now all we're having is drab. The touch relay is drab. Most of the pre-events dull, and this test events going on without spectators. But it is what it is. Japanese government wants to go on to have the Olympics, so they need to do these things. So let's see how it goes at the end of the day.
We see how it goes. I mean, Chris, all of these things testing the resolve of the government. I've asked a lot of people, probably about Austin as well. At what point do you think that resolve will be broken? What does it take? Because for now, the increased number of cases is not breaking the resolve.
See, they don't have an option than to host these games. Because see, if these games does not go ahead by July and August, surely it's going to be taken away from them. And they don't want that because the calendar in 2024, Paris is going to host the Olympics, all right? It's going to affect how things are structured if you're going to take away the Olympics from this year. I mean, next year, there is the FIFA World Cup. There are so many events already pushed to next year. So they definitely have to host these games, whether in a bubble, without the fans, they just have to go ahead with the game.
All right, let's talk about, guys, let's talk about something that we are hoping to see Team Nigeria do in a while. You know, glamorous showcasing of kits, of uniforms. Let's show you Australia. They're the new ones displaying what you're going to see at the Olympics. So we've talked about Germany, we've talked about the United States. They've shown us, and the Aussies trying to let us know we're ready. I mean, unique set of apparel, that they're going to put on. Very special. I'm hoping that I get to see this for Team Nigeria as well, not just green and white. Something that is unique to each event and also, covers our cultural heritage and all of that. Just all of that all together.
See,
okay, well,
maybe
to do all of that,
Abada and the Hero and the
you wouldn't mind if they come up with that.
Yeah, it's showcasing Nigerian
because
culture.
It's unique to us.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me ask Austin as well. Austin, would you want to see Team Nigeria decked up in something done by Ralph Lauren, Nike, Adidas, something unique, or you think because we are unique in ourselves, maybe we should come up with our own attires?
And that's what it is, and get the world talking, and look at the blend that the Super Eagles are to their kids for the 2018 World Cup, and then it got everybody talking. So it's about being creative. The Olympics also has a major objective of promoting cultural heritage of different countries. So it will be good to see us done the green, white, green in very creative ways that will showcase the rich cultural heritage of Nigeria.
Okay, all right. So, Sports Ministry is listening. Maybe they will oblige us very soon. All right, let's just quickly listen to some of the guys from Australia talk about their kids and all of the things they're doing as they prepare for the Olympics.
I think anyone wearing this uniform will feel, incredible. So I'm really excited. Just physically getting stronger, mentally getting stronger. We're at a stage where I just started with my coach, so to get that extra year, it's helped so much. And yes, just can't wait to get out there.
It feels really special, but it also feels like I need to pick up my game just a little bit. No, it does feel really special. Like Jess said, to know that you've got them pretty much coating your body when you walk out for the ceremony is really, really special. It's a good trigger point to remind you what this is all really for, what you really push yourself for each and every day, and to know that it's actually possible with all the previous Olympians. So it's really exciting.
Well, we don't know what the opening ceremony is going to look like yet, and that's something we're just going to have to be patient and wait and see. The reality is lots of athletes don't march at every Olympic Games. It's only a small number who march in the opening ceremony and the closing ceremony. So they know the games are going to be different. They know they have to just adapt their expectations and focus on what they can control, which is their performance. And everybody that I speak to is just delighted to know that the games are going ahead. Japanese authorities clearly want to wait as late as possible until they decide on spectator numbers and what the ceremonies look like. That's all going to come out in Playbook 3. That's going to be June. We don't even know when in June, but we just have to be patient and know that they'll put together the best program they can for us all.
All right, message from the guys from Australia: focus on what you can control and what you have power over. That's your performance at the games. The Japanese government want the Olympics to go ahead. All right, Chris, let's talk about Nigeria for the next few minutes.
Yeah.
Some say we've gotten ourselves into a bind with It's all of the problems, especially in athletics. And
Yeah.
I really want to get your thoughts because you've been monitoring all the things happening to us. A
Yeah.
couple of guys have told me in times past that they think we'll get a couple of medals from athletics, but now it seems we have to pass through the back channels, and it's becoming difficult.
Yes, because see, we shouldn't have been in this position to start with because, see, we had an opportunity to go to Poland to compete at the World Relays, and we could have secured 5 qualifications. Now we are where we used to be, hoping for a miracle. You know, it shouldn't be so. See, the relays, they are the events that you can get medals in. Nigeria, we've won about 14 medals in just the relays. See, it's a sure bet for us. If we really invest everything we have into these relays, we can easily win a medal. I'll give you an example. The mixed 4x4, Bahrain, at the 2019 World Championships, had 4 athletes who were born in Nigeria, left Nigeria not more than 5 years ago. They all won medals for Bahrain in the mixed 4x4. So Salwa Eid Nasser is a standard athlete, all right? But someone like Promise, he's now answering Musa for Bahrain, Jamal and Audu, you know, these guys, we have people who are, I'm not trying to say they are better, but they are almost at the same wavelength as them.
Of these guys.
Yes, so if we can harness our team together, we have Chidi Okeze, we have Emmanuel Ojeli, we have Nse Imobong, we have Favor Ofili. You know, Favor and Nse this season, they've run 51 seconds each. So this is potentially a medal-winning team if we, you know, prepare them together instead of chasing qualification. At the moment, we are ranked 21st in the mixed 4x4. If we had gone to Poland, we had an opportunity of securing automatic qualification, and we wouldn't have been bothered about whether we're going to qualify or not. At the moment, we are ranked 21st. So if we had gotten that automatic qualification, we would have been worried now about, you know, preparing this team, not
Qualifying
worrying,
first.
yes, not worrying about qualification.
Okay, so as it is now, where do we stand?
In the women's 4x1, luckily, that's like the only team that is almost, you know, close to going. We are ranked at number 16, but it's a very precarious position to be in because if any team runs faster than 43.05 seconds, which ranks us at number 16, that means we are going to be knocked off. So you see, we should have gone to Poland. Now, luckily for us, Switzerland, Italy did us a favor because they qualified for the final. And by qualifying for the final, that means that 43.05 that we ran in Doha, you know, is almost giving us a place. But we need to run.
For the women's 4x100?
Yeah, for the women's 4x100.
Okay.
Now, the men's 4x100 meters is sad because Ghana, of all teams, are ahead of us at the moment. They defeated Nigeria in Doha to win gold, and Nigeria ran 38.59 seconds. Now, there are 4 places, you know, up for grabs, still available. We need to run as fast as 37.94 seconds. That's like our national record, which we ran in 1997 in Greece.
We need to get it right.
We need to, we have some guys who can actually do that for us. We have guys who have done some 10 seconds, you know. We have Raymond Ekevo, we have Divine Oduduru, obviously, Ushe Ishekiri, and Arowolo.
Do you still stand by some of the things I've heard you say previously, even with the situation with these relays, that we can still pick medals from athletics?
You see, anything can happen, all right? Anything can actually happen. Let's even get the qualification first. That is the most important thing. If we can get the qualification, it's the Olympics, you know, it has a way of raising performances, like the atmosphere. When people go there and, you know, I'm not saying that I hope that a team drops the baton, no, but I'm just saying that there's a possibility that we can
still
actually,
in it,
yeah.
You can. All right, let me go to Austin quickly, and I don't think I've ever asked Austin this, but I'm going to ask you tonight. And aside the relay, since we're talking about athletics, aside the relay, if we take individual performances, do you see us? A lot of people have said our best chance is the relay. Individual performances may come close, and it becomes yet so far. Relays is a shorter route. But if we say put aside the relays, do you see individual athletes, male, female, get into the podium in athletics, in any event?
Oh, sure. This is Nigeria. We're very good with the sprints. We're good with the 400 meters. Let me just let you guys know that Inse Mabong, fantastic prospect. She was the fastest Nigerian across all each of the women's 400 meters in Texas. And it buttresses what Chris was saying. Attention. And then the distraction between the ministry and the AFN didn't do these athletes any good. Because if they'd gone to Poland, we wouldn't be where we are. Maybe even if we are, the chances, will be clearer. But yes, we can do well. If you check the athletes that we have now in the 100 meters and 200 meters and even the 400 meters, and Inse now telling us that the young shall grow. And if you give her attention, she can actually be a good prospect for the future. So yes, we can look towards that. But there are other aspects we also need to grow. Like I think in the field events, we can do more. And it all boils down to attention again, competitions, athletes' welfare, a unity of purpose, very, very important. When we say some of these things, persons just think that, these guys, is a Brumen, is Zival Dudu, Blessing or Kagbari. When they get on the track, they will know. It goes beyond you getting ready on that same day. So yeah, I mean, we have the prospect. Nigeria is blessed with talent.
All right. All right. Management is Chris. I know you wanted to.
Yes,
respond.
I was going to add to what he was saying. I think for me, if I'm going to stick out my neck for someone,
Some
it has
individuals.
To, yeah. Number one has to be Toby Amuson, because 2019, when she narrowly missed out on the podium, when she finished fourth, running a personal best of 12.28 seconds, Toby was not herself for some months. All right, she has been thinking about this. She has been working hard for it. I think she is going to really, really, do something at this Olympics. She is someone I'm very confident about her winning a medal.
You talk about, in our private chat, you talk about Ese Brume as well.
Yeah, Ese Brume. Just before I joined you on air, Ese, she's currently competing in Dallas, and she was leading before I joined you. She was leading with 6:45 meters. She is also someone with huge prospects because, one, she even won a medal 2 years ago in Doha. So that means she is in a position to win a medal. She is one of the top female jumpers in the world right now behind Germany's Mehambos. She can actually win a medal. I mean, we could roll back the years and luckily have what we had in 1996 when Choma Ajunwa, out of nowhere, won a gold medal.
Okay, all right. So let's leave it at that for now. Move on the show. We're close to that point where we'll go on a break. But let's just quickly talk about tennis. Two best table tennis players in the country will be up against each other as a battle for the 4.5 million prize money for the 2021 Nigeria Table Tennis Federation National Championships set to begin at the Molade Okoya Thomas Hall of the Teslim Balogun Stadium. Nigeria Table Tennis Federation says all the players for the event are already in town. All right, so you're going to listen to some reaction from that, but we need to go on a break. We'll come back, take the tennis story, continue with athletics, and also tell you what's happening in the English Premier League. Welcome back. I was hinting you about a press briefing today held by the Nigeria Table Tennis Federation. Let's just quickly take you there, allow you listen to some information that was given out there. We'll come back to talk some more on that competition that will see over 300 players feature in the 5-day tournament.
First, to rank the players. 2, to sustain and improve on the momentum table tennis has achieved so far. Table tennis is moving in the world, and we want to move with the world. We are looking outside the confederation. The ITTF is our target, and we want to compete at that level to also prove to the world that Nigeria is a table tennis country.
If you have something like this, let's get it 4 times in a year, it's a quarter. You will see how far our players will go. It puts them in form. They practice the new rules. They understand the tension with them. In Jamaica, every month they have athletics program. So they are in pace. If they can have something like that, in another 2 years, you'll be surprised what will happen.
We expect new talent. What we expect also is to create, like we said before, create a circuit of sports events in every sport. So this is a national one. There's a national one coming later, which the governor has already approved. And so in between, we'll be having many more domestic tournaments, because that's the only way we can up the competition. If you look at the sports festival that just concluded in Edo, we had players finishing in 3rd position, finishing 4th outside the table realm. But if they were playing more regularly and gain more competition experience, we think they would have finished better and in the gold medal region. So this will help. This will also help them put money in their pockets, because the circuit is not without money.
Welcome back. So a lot of information put out there by the Nigeria Table Tennis Federation, of course, their plans for that tournament. We'll speak in detail about all of that in our subsequent shows. Chris, also, you have updates on 1 or 2 Nigerians involved in events?
Yeah, quick update from the ongoing US Track and Field Open, just happening at the moment. Grace Mukocha, she qualified for the women's 100 meters final. She ran 11.60 seconds. She qualified for the final. It's coming up in the next 20 minutes or so. Patience Okon-George ran 52.70 seconds to win her 400 meters heat. Praise was 4th in that heat as well, while Nse Imabong Uko finished 7th in heat 3 with a time of 52.06 seconds.
All right, so that's it. Okay, so let's go to Austin quickly. Let's talk about one of the managers on the domestic scene who has tendered his resignation. The manager, very well known and respected, Usman Abdallah, he has tendered his resignation. He is no longer the coach of Wiki Tourist. In a few seconds, quickly, did that come to you as a surprise, Austin?
Well, if you look at the way Wiki Tourist has been all season, it doesn't come as a surprise. I think about 6 wins, 9 losses, and 6 draws. Not doing so well on the league table. This is a club that Usman Abdallah actually wanted to do a lot with, and it's actually started well. When I spoke to the coach, he said there's no bad blood between him and the club, that there's just so much going on with him at the moment. So he gave me personal reasons for the resignation. For instance, he says he needs to go reunite with his family. There's just his wife alone with the kids in France. He also told me that there's a coaching refresher course he needs to go for in the Netherlands. Look, he's even going to work with Wiki Tourist to bring a new manager for the club. And I try to ask him, what's next for you? Are you going to coach any other club for now? And he says we'll talk. So for now, he's just saying no bad blood, it's personal reasons, and then he just needs to sort some things out for himself and his family.
All right. That tallies with his statement released by the club as well. Austin Konakwan, I want to thank you for your time on the show. Hopefully we'll do this again some other time.
Thank you so much, Yemi. Always a delight to be on the show. Thank you.
All right. Let's see if we can quickly end the show, taking a look at the results from the English Premier League. Let's see Chelsea and Leicester. A lot of people want to see what is happening in that one. There you go, right there on your screen. Chelsea have made it 2. It's 2-0 right about now. 77 minutes of football played. The other results, Manchester United played a 1-0 draw with Fulham. Southampton lost to Leeds by 2 goals. 10-man Manchester City also lost to Brighton Hove and Albion. Those are the results in the English Premier League. 77 minutes of football played in the last game of the day. Chelsea and Leicester. Chelsea really wanting to be in the UEFA Champions League. All right, that's a wrap on the show. Christopher Maduesi, I want to thank you for your time.
Thank you so much.
Hopefully we get to do this some more.
Always a pleasure.
All right. So that's the show tonight. Thanks for allowing us to be a part of your day. Enjoy the rest of your night. We're back here again tomorrow. I'm Yemi Adebayo. Bye-bye now.